I had done this DSA, Springboot, LLD, and also I have been working in Frontend. So at that time, this has helped me to apply in both the roles. So due to which interviewer was really happy with my solution because I had knowledge of both the skill sets.
Hey, hi Rachit, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Can we first start off with your introduction? You can tell us about yourself, like how your journey has been as a student and how did you get into coding and all such stuffs.
I had joined actually as a mechanical engineering at Manit Bhopal. So during that time, I was planning for my masters during the 4 years. So I was inclined towards going for masters abroad, and my whole efforts were in mechanical engineering for all those 4 years. And in my fourth year, I had given GRE as well, and I had scored good marks, and I was receiving invitations from colleges as well to join. But then, we can say, life is unpredictable and things change very fast. So at that time, COVID struck, and everything got closed. Lockdowns happened, travels were restricted. So I had to delay my plan of going for masters at that time. And during that time, I also started giving interviews a bit, and I got selected in Capgemini at that time. So yeah, for that time, I joined Capgemini thinking that okay, it's just for 1 year. I'll go next year, and I did not put that much efforts at that time during my initial year because I knew that this is just for 1 year. I'll again go back into core mechanical. I mean, I'll just chill for 1 year, and then I'll again resume next year with my core subject. But then, even after 1 year, the things were not that good. Travels were not that relaxed. At that time, I thought that, okay, let's maybe try to give a shot to software engineering as well, as I have given so much of my efforts to mechanical, so why not try software engineering as well? So this was my first time coding actually. And yes, I started at that time and I started to enjoy in my initial phases. So I started with Java, Spring Boot, and React at that time. And then I started to enjoy a bit.
Okay, Rachit, so how did you get to know about programming Pathshala?
So as I got into coding during Capgemini, I started to enjoy it. So I started exploring courses at that time because I wanted to learn more. I knew whatever was happening around me at that time in my organization, but then I started exploring more so that I can grow even further. So I took some course. It was a low budget course. Initially, I took it to basically understand that I did not want to make a very big investment initially. I took one course, but at that time, it did not excite me that much. It's like I completed 3 or 4 lectures with full concentration, and then I tried to go through further lectures as well. But it did not excite me that much, to be honest. It seemed a bit dull, and it felt like I was just coding alone. So it did not bring that fire inside me to keep on going with that course. There was no motivation at that time. So after that, I did not take any course for some time, and then I got referred by a friend to programming Pathshala. So at that time, I took this course. So I thought that okay, I've taken this course, but why not try out one or two more course to see how this one fits? Because I have just taken one course earlier. I should not compare based on just a sample size of two. So I went with a very highly reputed course, a very expensive one of a very big edtech company. So yeah, I took the trial of it. And during that time, actually, I thought that it was a very expensive course, and whatever I'm getting there, even more things I'm getting here as well. Apart from just DSA lectures, projects, I'm getting personalized guidance also here, which was, I think, very, very necessary for me at that time because I was very new to programming and I was not knowing that which areas to explore. After the trial, I thought that this is a much better value for me, this course from Programming Pathshala, and I'm getting even more things in this, even more benefits. And definitely, it's like everyone is so easy to connect to, and everyone is like friends. So we formed a very great community here. So it was a no-brainer for me to go for this.
That's great. That's great to hear. Also, it's very interesting that you hail from a mechanical engineering background, but whatever you have studied and whatever you are doing right now is into core software engineering. So how challenging it was for you that hailing from a mechanical background, you studied coding, you studied DSA problem solving, you even studied backend development and design skills. So how challenging it was for you, and what do you think it may take for people like you who hail from different disciplines in order to pursue something like coding?
Yeah, so coming from mechanical engineering, definitely initially it was a bit tough. It takes a bit of time to get the gist of something. So even like when you're understanding some things, but still it will take some time to get confidence in that. I think I took my learning slow. I took time. I even took breaks in between. I think breaks are very important as a part of learning to not get burnt out. And yeah, so I would say that learning is a slow process. We should not try to complete it in like 2 or 3 months or 4 months, or we should not give a deadline to it. It is a continuous process and we should take it as it comes to us. So take it one bit at a time.
That's a very important point. How long did you do your studies with programming, Pathshala?
It has been like around 3 years.
Oh,
And yeah, I have taken multiple courses. The first one with the data structures was so helpful to me. So it was so great that I could not resist finishing it as soon as possible. And after that, other new courses were also released. I definitely wanted to dive into other courses as well. And I think that has helped me a lot. So just not DSA, but apart from it, I took LLD and Springboot courses as well. So yeah. So yeah, as you said that how much time would it take for someone who is not from core computer science to get used to this? So I would say like it would depend on the person as well, but I would say that take your sweet time and do not rush yourself and do not compare yourself with others that how they're doing. You should be confident in yourself and take one thing at a time. And yeah, I think you'll be don't give a time foundation to it, but still I think you'd be good in around 2 years.
great. I'm sure that lots of times you might have encountered doubts in your mind. And doubts, doubts in front of us are just like hurdles, they are not like walls. So if there's a tall wall, you cannot jump through it. But if there is a hurdle, you can actually jump through that hurdle, right? Because you hail from mechanical engineering background, and the first company that you worked for was Capgemini, right? Which was a service
Yes.
based company. So you did not also have an experience from product based company. So all these things must have been a hurdle in your mind, that hey, I hail from a non CS background, I do not hail from a product based company. So did at times these things hamper your motivation? If yes, then to what extent, and then how did you work your way through these?
So yeah, as you said that coming from a service-based company, there was I would say limited exposure. There were things that I learned there, but yeah, definitely there was limited exposure to many things in software engineering. And there were times like where I felt okay, I don't know what to do now, and whatever I'm doing, it's like I don't know if it's even useful for me or not. So there were times when I lost motivation and I thought that, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe I'll go back to mechanical, I'll switch to some field. But yeah, at whenever such doubts arise in my mind, the first thing I did was to message you on WhatsApp. And yeah, you always kept me motivated, I would say. So you would always like suggest me what to do, what steps to take. You would help me like even plan my year, plan my month, even plan my day as well, so that I don't get any doubts. I don't have to wander my mind anywhere else and just focus on the work that I need to do. And you also said that it's okay to take breaks. So yeah, in between, whenever I felt, I took some amount of break and then I resumed. So I started with a new energy. And yeah, I think it is very possible that many people also feel the same. They lose motivation in between. So yeah, I would say take a break for some time, and in between, uh, plan your day, plan your month, plan your year, and then resume with the new energy.
Awesome. See, just like for a good health, balanced diet is important. You need to have certain portion of protein, certain portion of carbs and fat and all, right? Similarly, for becoming a good software developer, a balanced approach towards learning is important. I can see that you have done multiple courses with us: DSA, design, backend development, Spring Boot, all these things you have done. So Do you feel that all of them have played their role when it came to interviewing? And what kind of roles did they play? Do you want to shed some light over those?
Yeah. So many people would think that, okay, I'm going towards front end. So why do DSA? Why do LLD? Why do HLD system design? But as for me, I think these things have helped me a lot because these are not just like chapters or subjects, but these are the things that help you build your skills to the next level and even improve your logical skills, thinking skills, software engineering skills. So, yeah, these all things have helped me a lot in my interviews. So, in front end interviews, there are machine coding rounds mostly. There have been some DSA rounds as well, but there are machine coding rounds. So in machine coding rounds, the logical thinking that I have gained through DSA, that has helped me a lot in completing those machine coding rounds. Because if I had just like gone through HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, all those things, then okay, you know all those things, you know the technology, but still you need to develop a thinking to build stuff, and especially in that short amount of time. So yeah, it's like it's not that these are separate subjects, but these combine all together to help you not just in your interviews, but even in your day to day software engineering or coding, whatever you are doing in your work. Yeah, and even when I faced high level design rounds for front end, I was able to explain the back end of them as well because I had gone through the LLD and HLD as well from programming Pathshala. So I was able to explain the backend as well. So the interviewers were very impressed with it that I was able to get a complete holistic picture of the entire system. So yeah,
Great. So, Rachit, the key highlight that you have shared is that the extent to which you got personalized support and feedback from us at Programming Pathshala, and that literally helped you with a good feedback mechanism through which you could continuously improve yourself over some time, right? So, I would want you to talk about that. What was the key difference between how you learned different subjects or different competencies, let's say DSA, design, or backend development at Programming Pathshala versus how it is taught outside?
so these were not actually like just subjects like the different DSA, LLD, and everything. But in fact, these helped me hone my skills, and especially the classes that were held and the personalized sessions which are held every month. We can like whenever we need, we can get to any mentor. We can get a personalized session.
Hmm.
So all these things helped me to improve my logical thinking a lot,
Hmm.
and that has improved over the last 4 years, and I can actually feel it after the end of 4 years. I can actually feel that I have developed my problem solving and software engineering skills a lot. So yeah, I think it has been instrumental in my path and in my success.
Also, on your dashboard, on your learning dashboard, roughly how many points you have gained? I can see you have gained around 20,000 points, right? So
Yes.
you must have consistently learned for maybe years. And when I say consistency, you would be learning daily, be it for just 1 hour or 2 hour, right? So that is what matters. In fact, every learner who has learned that way with us has reaped the fruits of it. And those fruits were really sweet. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Rajit, would you like to summarize your entire long learning pathway to us in maybe 4 or 5 sentences, and also speak about what were the key highlights for you? How did it consolidate to work and put you at position where you are right now?
Okay, so I used to spend around every day 2 to 3 hours after my office hours for learning purposes, and I used to go through the DSA course every day. So it became like a habit to me. If I did not go through it for even a single day, I used to feel a bit incomplete. And I think that it has been every topic has been extensively taught, and there, it can happen that sometimes you learn some topics and they feel incomplete. But in fact, here I felt after completing every topic, I felt confident that okay, I have completely explored this topic in depth. There are sufficient amount of questions and sufficient amount of lectures of every topic. So I felt confident after solving every topic. So that is, I think, very important to feel confident in a topic rather than rushing through the topics. And yeah, in between, I also, whenever I got a bit bored, so I just made some fun projects, hobby projects as well. I would say as a side benefit, it also helped me with my resume.
So, Rachit, you must have interviewed with a lot of companies. What companies those were, and how was your interviewing journey in general? Like, how did the rejections and selections feel like? And what company did you end up joining? And what were the key reasons that made you join that company? Would you like to talk about those?
Yeah. So I started my interviewing journey in, I would say, my applying journey in February. And I got my first interview call in March end. I started in early February, so it almost took like around 2 months to get a call. And so the first interview I had was at Teachment. Yeah, I completed those rounds, but due to my notice period being 3 months, so it's a bit hard to get the first offer. It was a product-based company, and they were expecting me to join a bit sooner. So yeah, it did not work out at that time. And then I had interviewed for a service-based company in April, and after that, I did not hear anything back from them. So I thought that okay, I think I need a bit more preparation. So I went back to improving, like just finishing up, giving those finishing touches to my skills. And in June, luckily I got an offer from the company, so I accepted it. And so basically, for the next month, I completely devoted it to learning. I did not apply anywhere. And after 1 month, because I had 3 months, so I took the first month just for improving my learnings. And then after 1 month, I started to apply to multiple companies. And then, so I had applied for even different roles as well. So I had applied for front end, I had applied for backend as well. Now that thing again comes into picture that I had done this DSA, Spring Boot, LLD, and also I have been working in front end. So at that time, this has helped me to apply in both the roles because I had knowledge of both the skill sets. So yeah, and so yeah, I started interviewing at multiple companies. At Oracle, I had given interview, Talentica, ThoughtSpot. There were like around 14, 15 companies that I had given interview at that time. Yeah, there were like some rounds in which I had got rejected in the last stage, which is the managerial round. There were some rounds which I had cleared completely, but I did not hear back from them. It was a tough journey because even when you are doing everything right and not hearing back, so it creates sometimes self doubt as well. So yeah, during those times as well, I had been connecting with you, and you had been informing that yeah, it is a tough market, and there were times where I was losing motivation during interviewing as well. But uh, you have always kept my spirits up, so that has helped me a lot during my interview time. And yeah, then I interviewed at Hotspot. So initially I did not hear back. Later on, I got an offer, and definitely this was the best offer for me.
So, ThoughtSpot being a well-known product-based company, what were the competencies that they tested you on?
Yeah, so there was not a single thing that they tested me on, but it was a holistic thing that they tested. So they tested me on front end combined with data structures. So it's like machine coding round and data structures, so a combination of those. So just like we discussed before, that we cannot keep these into separate buckets because these all come together at the end to help you. So after that, I had even design round as well. And in design round, I was able to explain the front end and back end both. So due to which interviewer was really happy with my solution. And yeah, this after that, basically there were three technical rounds, and then there were some managerial rounds. So this is how the interview process looked like, and it was a combination of complete software engineering.
That's great. That's great. All in all, to sum it up, you hailed from a non CS background, a service based company. You had to keep your patience limits super high. You worked hard, and eventually you cracked multiple offers. And currently, you are going to join a well known product based company, Hotspot. That's a job very well done. And I think it's a very, very inspiring journey. And we are very thankful that you undertook this journey with us so that all our learners who are in the same bucket as yours will feel inspired. There are a lot of people who hail from non-CS background or service-based company, and they have these doubts on themselves. But instead of having these things as hardcore doubts, if they be seen as hurdles or challenges, then the journey becomes much more exciting, right? Yeah. So I would say very well done. And we all wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Well,
Thank you. Thank you so much.